This is a disclaimer for parents and any potential clients. Those of you who are looking into cochlear implant or any kinds of surgery, kind of hearing devices, it is not a cure for deafness, and here's why. Device is another tool for us to hear with, and for those of you who have lost hearing later on instead of at birth, they would sound mechanical. I have a friend who told me that some of the sounds that she had heard before she lost her hearing, and comparing to the sounds that she's hearing with cochlear implant, it's night and day. Like with your normal hearing, it sounds natural, but with this, it just sounds staticky and mechanical, I guess. I mean, I've attached hearing simulation down below in this description box to kind of help you understand what I mean by mechanical. It sounds a little staticky, a little, I don't know, like it's not as clear as natural hearing would have, but it's all we got. Even with the cochlear implant, they still have to put in effort into speech therapy and have to wear it every day. The reason being is you have to wear it every day is so that your brain can get used to this mechanical ear, and that your brain, like in natural hearing, you have this biological feedback. If there's certain sounds that you don't want to hear, like background noise, you don't want to hear that, you don't want that overwhelming the speaker or your friend's voice or family. You obviously learn, your brain learned of like, hey, let's cut out the background noise so we can hear the person in front of us clear. Unfortunately, with our machine, it doesn't have that. So we have to learn how to work with it, I guess. There are options, like we have programs other than like everyday program. I have 3 other programs on top of my everyday program, which is called Smart Scan. And believe it or not, for Nuclear 6, I think this is it. It's really good, like way better than my old one, which I'll show you my old one. It's this heavy thing. By the way, that's the other thing that we have to take into account. It can be uncomfortable. This bulky thing is heavier than my own new processor. See this? This is like 23% heavier than theirs. Oh my gosh. It got stuck. They became best friends. But I had 4 programs on here which I've never had before. My old processor before this. This was like just everyday kind of thing, nothing you can do about it. This one, it was the first time we had 4 programs, and I had everyday program, music, noise reduction, and noise reduction with speech amplification. They kind of worked, but again, I still had to work with it within the limitations that I had with this, but I was hearing a lot better than I did with my old processor, which is pretty awesome. I'm just glad that you don't have to deal with the 1990s processor that we had when we first got it. It's bulky, it's full of wires, it's heavy, and they have improved a lot trying to make it light and easy to wear, especially for children, because we constantly tumble around and rough house and everything. We need light, portable processor where it won't catches on doorknob or catches on the coach or catches on anything. I swear I've lost my processor many times because it would catch on my desk chair and it got old fast. And this is also a note to take into consideration. Depending on how much work you have to put in speech therapy really depends on when you get your processor. The youngest age that they can operate on is 18 months old, which didn't happen in 1990s. The youngest they would do was 5-year-old. Meaning, I didn't get my cochlear implant until I was 5 years old. So, the first 5 years I spent deaf. And the longer you wait, the more effort you have to put into speech therapy, and the more likely your speech will sound like a foreigner speaking English. And sometimes some people will have obvious deaf accents. Now we're going to move on to give you tips and notes about cochlear implant and interacting with people who wears them. Even if we have cochlear implant on, we're still hearing impaired. I know I've said this earlier in the video, with the processor on, we're mildly hearing impaired, meaning we have difficulty with soft speech, especially in presence of noise. Meaning, when we watch a movie or a TV show, please turn on closed caption. It will help us keep up with the dialogues, especially since there will be situations where we can't read their lips or can't understand what they're saying because of their thick accent, like Canadian, Scottish, Irish, like really thick accent. Closed caption is the best for us, and their backs will be like toward us, so there's no way we can read their lips when their backs are turned to us. So that's one thing. The other thing is, when you have conversations with us, be sure to get their attention first. My husband is still dealing with that, because he would go on a very fantastic conversation, like brilliant words and everything, and I'll be over here not realizing he was talking to me. I thought he was talking to himself or on the phone, and he's like, great, now I have to repeat myself, I have to paraphrase it because I don't remember my brilliant words. So be sure to get our attention first and be aware of your surrounding. If you notice that there is noise going on, like music or people shouting like in a restaurant, obviously that's going to be really hard for us to hear without processing, even without programs specifically designed to reduce background noise and amplify the speaker in front of me, which is what I have with this one. I will tell you, it's brilliant. Frank didn't have to shout in a restaurant when he had to with this. And I say it's brilliant, but that's just my personal opinion and my personal experience with this. Anyway, back to the conversation. If it's noisy and you noticed it, try to face them so they have like clear view of your lips. Try not to like cover your mouth. Try not to exaggerate your lips or speak slower or louder. Just talk normally. If they ask you to slow it down, then slow it down a little bit, because you might be one of those fast talkers. Or if you tend to mumble, try to enunciate your words like I do. Just enunciate. And be patient with us. We ask you to repeat yourself. If you repeat yourself without saying never mind or I'll tell you later, we will be very grateful for that, because those are the two phrases we hate, but hate hearing every time, because it makes us feel bad about our hearing. There's nothing we can do, and we felt helpless. I know I felt helpless every time my family said, oh, never mind. I'll be like, no, just keep repeating. I'll get it eventually. Or write it down. If you have a phone, definitely type it down. Type it in the note. In the text, I'll understand. Anything that helps. And if you can control the background noise, please either turn the music down to a point where you barely hear them, or just turn off. We will be very grateful for it, because they will make our life easier, and we don't have to work as hard to understand or keep up. The example is, I have two friends, and I'm talking to them, but we have two kids that are with us, and they're playing music on the iPad. Obviously they're on my right where my processor is, so obviously I will hear them over my friends. What my friend did was to send the kids to another room on my left, and that made it easier for me to understand my friends, because they were on my left and in another room away from me. So also, if the room is dark and if you can move to another room, definitely do it. It would be much easier for us to read your lips if it wasn't as dark. Especially if we're already having trouble keeping up with you. It's like at a club. Obviously there'll be flashy lights, it'll be so dark and loud music. Don't even bother. There's no way, and there's no chance that we will keep up with you unless you know sign language. That's the only way we could keep up with you. If you know sign language, or you have a phone handy dandy, out and ready to go typing, that's the only way you can have a conversation with us. And if you're outside, if you notice that the sun is behind you, definitely switch positions with them, because having the sun glare in our eyes, we're more focused on squinting our eyes than reading your lips. If you switch position with us, we don't have to squint as much, and your face will be fully lit up. Easy to read the facial expression, easy to read the lips, easy to read the body language if there's anything wrong. Now, what I mentioned earlier, that reading lips help us greatly. This goes for cochlear implant and non-cochlear implant or hearing aid people. Not everybody can read lips. I can read lips because of my speech therapy. The first 5 years I spent every second of them in speech therapy, learning lip movement, how certain letters sound like ah, eh, ink. A-E-I-O-U, U, stuff like that.